easiest way to do this is whatever industry that you're in. So if you're in marketing, if you're in construction, if you're in engineering, you've got to look for the companies, the large corporates that are in the same sector as you are. Because as Jesse mentioned as well, every single corporate in this country, especially the large listed ones, has to comply with the ESG regulation. And they've got to put 3% of the NCAT net profit after tax into a fund for Enterprise and Supplier Development. And what those guys are looking for are people in their sector. So if I'm a construction company, bad example at the moment I know, but if I'm a construction company, I'm looking to help other guys in the construction sector. So my ESG funds will be looking for people who can help me in my supply chain. So try to match yourself up to the large corporate out there. Go knock on those doors. Trust me, we've been helping a very large corporate trying to find SMEs. And you would think they would have hundreds and hundreds of SMEs knocking on their door, but it's if an SME, if the corporate doesn't know that you're there, think about it, how do they find you, right? So you've got to have a thick skin about this. You're an entrepreneur, you know how to hustle, so you've got to be knocking on these doors, right? So I'll quickly tell you about what we do as ProfitShare partners. So we fund clients who have no access to funding, no capital, no security, no track record. And the idea is, think of us as the preschool of funding, right? So we help build you up to a point where we lose you to the net banks and FNBs and the other banks and the traditional funders of the world. The guys who are looking for financials, the guys who are looking for security, but how do you build it up, right? So we're able to help in that space. The only thing that we need is that you have a contract with a large corporate, some state-owned enterprises, large multinationals, and the reason for that is we don't look at you for payments, right? So we look at the underlying transaction, and we look at the transaction risk and how we mitigate our performance around that. But we want to know at the end who's going to pay, right? So if it's a large corporate and say it's a Cecil, for example, we know Cecil is good for the funds, but Cecil will only pay if you can deliver. The banks are, and rightly so, sometimes they're concerned about giving somebody funds if you say you're a startup and you've got no track record. How do they know that you're actually going to deliver? So funders like ourselves, like ProfitShare partners, we've got technology and processes that we actually help you mitigate your performance. And in the over 300 million rand worth of transactions we've done so far, we had zero performance failure. So every single one of our SMEs have delivered. And so if they've delivered, then they must get paid. So that's why we try to make sure that the purchase order or the contract that you have is with a large corporate. If you now do this a couple of times, so say you're the supply chain of Cecil and you just started out and you've got a 300,000 rand deal, it worked well, and then you get a 400 and then a 500. After 6 or 7 transactions, you've now built a track record, you've got financials, you've got cash in the bank, you probably don't need us. You become a lot more attractive to a typical bank of it. And that's our motto, to build you to lose you to a typical bank. Right? We only look at transactions up to 365 days, so we're short-term funders. Our typical transactions are 30, 60, 90 days. We can help you import goods. We can help you if you like manufacturing, we can do that. We've funded everything from tea bags to mobile Ebola testing clinics for the Department of Health. So our system is very quick, everything's online, we're a fintech business, so we understand that as an SME or an entrepreneur, you don't have time to go and wait for things to happen, right? So as long as you have access to the internet or a smartphone, if it's a no, you apply online. If it's a no, we tell you within 24 hours. If it's a yes, in principle, we give you a term sheet within 48 hours. And if you're a new client, the application to pay out is 7 days. If you're an existing client, it's about 48 hours. So a quick no is sometimes a good answer. And when it's a no, we'll tell you why it's a no. One of the biggest reasons that we get, we can spot a fraudulent purchase order within 7 seconds. So our technology is able to do that. So if you're ever worried about is your purchase order valid, and there's a lot of scams out there, go onto our website, you can just download it, and you can, within a few seconds, you can get the answer whether the purchase order is legit or not. Right? So we went through that. We fund between 250,000 and 5 million rand per transaction. So if you have a 60 million rand order and you're supplying 5 million rand a month, we can do that. That's the 60 million rand, but we won't give you a 60 million rand facility. We'll give you per transaction. As you close out that transaction, we close off that deal and do the next one and the next one. Right? You can do them in parallel as well. So I think I just want to take some questions. So I quickly want to go through some of this. So I think the ESG around the world is something that all governments, all economies are looking towards, and it's more prevalent and more important in South Africa, where we're trying to grow an inclusive economy. Right? The best place for you to participate right now, especially because of the massive drive of corporates to get small businesses into their supply chain, is the corporate supply chain. Governments have already stipulated that they want to take 30% of their spend and give it towards SMEs. So they're the largest buyer or client in the country at the moment. But if you put all the corporates together, government pales in comparison. So I think the idea is to try to, if you can grow in a corporate supply chain, and we've taken clients from 1 million rand to 60 million rand turnover in less than about 2.5 years. We started with a client last year in March. His turnover was 300,000. It's a year later, he's now 25 million. We've taken 70 clients and grew their turnover by 1,000% in 1 year. And it's all because you guys are good, you know what you're doing, right? But you do the one order, you wait for the order to get paid, you take the same cash, and then you do the next order. A lot of guys are doing this for a couple of years, and you're scared to go and take a bigger order, because if you don't deliver on the bigger order, you even you get blacklisted effectively, and you lose the small orders as well. So it's also about confidence, and that's where we can come in, because if we're backing you, we can give you the confidence to trade as long as you know what you're doing. Right? I think this is just for, if there were other corporates in the room, what we're able to do with corporates, and you can actually use this as your selling tool in any corporate. A corporate is worried about, one, we don't want to take any financial risk. Two, we don't want to take an operational risk. And I'll give you an easy example. We work with some mines, and a mine is setting up in a new community, and so they say, so the typical thing that happens is, okay, the SMEs get all the menial stuff, cut the grass, put up the fence, nothing in the critical supply chain. And so you speak to the guys and ask them why, and they'll tell you, okay, we need a 5 million rand yellow metal equipment in one of these big graders. And so how do I go to the community and give the guys an order, because I don't know if they can deliver. And if they don't deliver in time, yes, I need to in 18 days. If it's not here in 18 days, I don't lose 5 million rand. I lose 20 million rand a day in lost production. So those are the kind of things that corporates are trying to balance. They don't want to take an operational risk, and they don't want to take on financial risk. So they may say, hey, that's a good SME, he seems like a nice guy, but I just don't want to take the risk. What in case he doesn't deliver? I've got bigger issues later on. So what we're able to do is almost guarantee a corporate that you will deliver. So we're funding, we'll almost guarantee them that we'll deliver. So within 24 hours, we will tell them, one, that yes, we are funding them and your goods will be here in 17 working days, or your client is or supplier is hopelessly outpriced. There's no stock in the country, so we'll only get here in 6 weeks. So we can independently give them feedback to say that that transaction will or will not work. So they get some comfort around that kind of process. So if they're saying, okay, it's going to take 6 weeks, okay, let's just cancel this order and reissue, or we can wait for 6 weeks. Because if they're relying on an SME, it's going to be, we all know the game, right? The guys are hustling, it's going to be today, tomorrow, don't worry, I'll sort it out today, tomorrow, and 30 days goes by. So we work with a number of very large corporates, and what it allows us to do, it allows us to help grow the SMEs in the supply chain. So we can answer a number of questions. Even on our side as ProfitShare, we have corporates coming to us saying, do you have guys in a certain sector? Please, can you introduce them to us? So we can find them the SMEs. Two is, we've got the SMEs, but they don't have funding. we can finance them. 3, we're just not sure if the guys can deliver. We can guarantee delivery. So if we're able to answer all of those kind of questions or mitigate all of those kind of risks, there shouldn't be any reason why the corporate wouldn't use it. Right? So you can actually use that as a test or as a weapon in your arsenal and say, guys, I'm getting funding from XYZ. They will guarantee my funding and they will guarantee my delivery. So all I'm asking for you to do is give me access to the supply chain. Right? And so that's what we're trying to do. If we can guarantee that and we guarantee your performance, there shouldn't be a reason why the corporate doesn't take you into their supply chain. The other things with them, and I won't go through it, we're also able to fund the corporates. So a lot of corporates they've got to put this 3% of ESD spend into an ESD program. But the problem is that, especially in this economy, 3% of profit is not 3% in the bank. Right? So we're able to fund them, sometimes at zero cost. We're able to unlock debt capital on their balance sheet. So if there's a corporate that's willing to do the right thing and support SMEs, we're able to help them. So if they say we don't have capital, we can actually provide them with capital. If they can't find an SME, we'll find them for them. If they're worried about the SME's delivery, we'll guarantee performance. If they're worried about an SME getting funding, we will guarantee funding. So it's up to you to go and hustle and get the deal done. If you can hustle and get the deal done, we can support you and fund you. So I think the biggest thing around it is find the guys that tie up to your sector. Whatever business that you're in, go find the large corporate in it and go knock on their doors and try to access their ESD funding. So maybe I can take some questions if I have time. I'm not sure.